In the small fishing village of Ho, the calm waters of the river and the rhythmic sound of nets being cast have always been a symbol of life and livelihood. This is the world of Kwame, a young fisherman known for his talent with the net and his deep love for the sea. But his heart carries more than the desire to catch fish. It is filled with a silent longing for Akosua, a woman from a neighboring village who visits the shores often to collect shells and seaweed. Their connection is quiet but undeniable, growing each time their eyes meet across the sparkling waters. Kwame's world revolves around the sea, its tides, and the songs he hums while casting his nets. These melodies, passed down by his ancestors, are believed to be a way to call the sea's blessings and keep the village safe. As Kwame's affection for Akosua grows, he begins to pour his heart into his fishing, believing that through his skill and dedication, he can earn the courage to confess his feelings. Akosua, in turn, is captivated not just by the beauty of the sea, but by Kwame's deep bond with it, seeing in him a reflection of the love and harmony that the waters represent. However, a storm arises one evening, threatening to destroy the village's boats and homes. The sea, once a source of bounty and peace, now turns into a force of destruction. In the chaos, Kwame risks his life to save Akosua, and in doing so, he proves that his love for her is as deep and unwavering as the sea itself. With the storm passing, the village celebrates, and Kwame finally opens his heart, asking Akosua to join him by the sea, where their love will forever be as constant as the tides. The story weaves themes of tradition, love, and resilience, while exploring the deep relationship between the fisherman and the sea, and how love can bloom in the most celebration after the storm, a joyous celebration in the village after the storm has passed. Villagers gather around a large bonfire on the beach, dancing and singing traditional songs. Kwame and Akosua stand together, smiling at each other under the moonlight. The scene is filled with colorful traditional attire, drumming, and the warm glow of the fire. The night sky is clear, and the calm sea reflects the stars above. Kwame, singing by the shore. A young fisherman, Kwame, standing on the shore of the Volta River, singing a traditional African song to the sea. His face is serene and full of emotion as he hums melodies passed down from his ancestors. The sound of the waves crashing around him blends with his song. The background features the lush greenery of the region, with distant mountains and the setting sun painting the sky in warm hues of orange and red. Kwame and Akosua in the boat together, a romantic scene of Kwame and Akosua in a traditional wooden fishing boat on the calm waters of the Volta River. The boat is adorned with woven baskets and fishing nets. They gaze at each other, smiling softly as the gentle ripples of the water create a serene atmosphere. The boat moves slowly under the glow of a fading sunset, with lush greenery on both sides of the river. Fishermen preparing nets at sunrise. Early morning in a fishing village in the Volta region, fishermen are preparing their nets on the sandy shores, with the soft glow of the sunrise illuminating the scene. The men wear simple, weathered clothing, and the nets are intricately woven from natural fibers. The sky is painted in pastel colors, light blues, pinks, and oranges as the first rays of the sun hit the water, creating a peaceful and hard-working atmosphere. The tides pulling the net, a dramatic moment where the fisherman's net is pulled by the sea. The net is large and woven from natural materials, and the waves tug at it as the fisherman fights to keep control. Kwame's focused expression and strong arms show his connection to the sea, and the scene captures the power of the ocean as it interacts with human efforts. The environment is lively, with waves crashing and the sea mist in the air. a vibrant village market scene in Ho, with colorful stalls selling fresh fish, fruits, vegetables, and handmade goods. Villagers, dressed in traditional clothing, barter and chat with one another. The market is bustling with the backdrop of the green hills of the Volta region. Bright kente cloths, beads, and jewelry add pops of color to the scene while the sounds of lively conversations fill the air. The storm approaching. The atmosphere turns tense as a storm begins to form over the sea. Dark clouds gather on the horizon and the wind starts to pick up. The once calm river is now choppy, with waves growing larger. Kwame stands at the edge of the shore, his eyes fixed on the storm. The sky is filled with ominous shades of gray, and the light is dimming, adding a sense of foreboding to the scene. Nighttime by the fire. A warm and cozy scene by a campfire on the beach at night. The sky is clear with a blanket of stars above. Kwame and Akosua sit close to the fire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. They share stories and laughter with the crackling of the fire and the sounds of the sea in the background. The glow of the fire contrasts with the coolness of the night, creating a sense of intimacy and peace. The village's traditional boat ceremony. A ceremonial scene in the village where fishermen are blessing their boats before heading out to sea. The village elders, dressed in colorful traditional attire, perform a ritual with prayers and offerings to the water spirits. The boats are decorated with colorful cloths, and the villagers gather in a circle around them. The river is calm, and the ceremony is filled with a sense of reverence and connection to the land and sea. A fisherman's family at home, inside a simple traditional hut in the Volta region. A fisherman's family gathers around a small wooden table, enjoying a meal together. The walls of the hut are adorned with woven baskets and hand-carved wooden artifacts. The family, dressed in simple yet colorful clothing, shares laughter and stories with the soft glow of oil lamps casting shadows on the walls. Outside, the sun sets over the village, creating a peaceful and intimate family moment.
The love between Kwame and Akosua is rooted in the shared connection to the sea. Their love is quiet but persistent, growing as they learn more about each other through the rhythms of the waves and the world they inhabit. Kwame's devotion to his craft and to Akosua highlights the sacrifice and patience that love often requires. The sea, ever changing yet constant, mirrors their growing bond. A young African fisherman from the Volta region, dressed in traditional fishing attire. He wears a woven loincloth, a simple shirt made of light cotton fabric, and a headband. His hands are rough from years of handling nets. He stands by the shore with a fishing net in hand, gazing out at the water. The background shows a calm river with small fishing boats and green hills in the distance, capturing the natural beauty of the Volta region. A beautiful African woman from the Volta region wearing a colorful kente cloth wrapped around her waist and shoulders. Her hair is braided and she carries a basket filled with seashells and seaweed. She stands on the shore, watching the fisherman from afar with a serene and contemplative expression. The sun sets in the background, casting a golden light over the peaceful waters of the sea. A traditional African fishing village by the water, with simple thatched roof huts and people gathered around preparing nets. The villagers are dressed in colorful traditional clothing, and the scene is bustling with activity. The river is calm, with small boats floating gently. The lush landscape of the Volta region is visible in the background, with palm trees and green hills under a bright blue sky. A close-up of an African fisherman, Kwame, casting his fishing nets into the sea. The net is large, woven from natural fibers, and the water sparkles as it catches the sunlight. The fisherman's strong hands and focused expression reflect his connection with the sea. The background shows a quiet river and traditional fishing boats. The atmosphere is peaceful and serene, with soft sunlight filtering through the sky. A dramatic scene of a storm at sea, with dark clouds swirling over the water. Waves crash violently against the shore. In the foreground, Kwame is struggling to keep his boat afloat, while Akosua stands at the edge of the water, looking terrified. Lightning strikes in the distance, casting an eerie light over the scene. The atmosphere is intense, reflecting the tension and danger of the storm.
The moment of confession. A powerful and emotional scene where Kwame confesses his love to Akosua. They stand on the shores of the river, with the sunset reflecting on the water. Kwame's hands are shaking as he speaks from his heart, and Akosua's eyes fill with emotion. The background is filled with the warm glow of the setting sun, casting a golden light over the scene. The environment captures the beauty and significance of this moment in their love story. Festival dance by the sea. A festive scene by the sea during a traditional African dance. Villagers, including Kwame and Akosua, are dressed in vibrant kente cloths, dancing around a large bonfire. The rhythmic sound of drums fills the air as people move in sync with the beat, their joy and energy infectious. The scene is set against the backdrop of the sea, under a sky full of stars. The atmosphere is lively, celebrating both the culture and the connection to the land.